This isn't just bad design. It's bad feng shui. These 5 everyday decor choices, they've been quietly blocking your wealth flow and draining your money energy straight out the door. So here's the thing no one tells you about Feng Shui. It's not always about crystals, lucky coins, or rearranging your whole space. Sometimes it's the smallest things. A shelf, a rug, a mirror you don't even think about. They sit there quietly, but every day they nudge the energy of your home just a little off, until money feels stuck. You feel drained, and your home, it doesn't feel like a home anymore. The worst part? These aren't ancient curses or mystical symbols. They're things we buy on sale, put up because they look nice, or leave where they are because we never question them. But in Feng Shui, everything has a voice. And some of the loudest energy blocks come from the quietest corners. If even just one of those things made you pause, maybe your home's been whispering to you too. Not in words, but in how heavy the air feels, or how your money flow seems to slow every time you walk through the door. So before we move on, take a second to like, share this energy, and maybe even subscribe if your space has more to say. Let's clear the static and let the Feng Shui speak again. You thought that shelf above your bed was just for storage? What if it's been pressing down more than you think? People believe overhead shelves save space, but in Feng Shui, they do something else. They create invisible pressure right where your ideas, dreams, and money thoughts begin. Oh gosh, this one is way more common than people realize. Like seriously, just take a walk around any apartment or cozy home. You'll spot it almost immediately. A long wooden shelf, bolted right above the head of the bed or smack over a home office desk. It's holding books, plants, maybe even those cute baskets that collect everything. And we tell ourselves, it's practical. It saves space. It looks minimal. It's fine. But Feng Shui doesn't just read design, it reads weight. And placing heavy objects directly overhead, especially in your sleeping or thinking, zones creates this low, invisible tension. Not just physically, but energetically. You might not notice it at first, but over time, it builds. And before you know it, you're tossing in bed at 2 a.m., wondering why you feel anxious or low, or sitting at your desk, completely stuck even though you've had 2 coffees and 10 to-do lists. This isn't just poor design. It's a Feng Shui red flag that quietly tells your subconscious, something's looming, something's pressing. And that message? It blocks your flow, your focus, and yep, your money chi too. You wake up feeling tense. You sit down to work, but can't focus. Your ideas get cluttered, and slowly your wealth chi loses its direction. You may not feel it at first, but over time things feel stuck. Alright, pause for a second. Just look up. If you see a shelf, a cabinet, or even a bulky painting hovering right above your headspace, that's your cue. Your body may have already felt it. The tight shoulders, the restless sleep, that strange fog when you're trying to focus. So here's what you can dojently, but firmly. Step 1. Clear the weight. Start by removing everything on the shelf. Yes, even the cute plant. Even the motivational book you haven't touched since 2020. Step 2. If the shelf is directly above your bed or desk, consider shifting it to a sidewall. One that doesn't sit right above where your energy needs to rise. Step 3. If you truly can't move it, soften the impact. Add something lightweight like a soft textile, a rounded decor item, or a calming cymbalto reduce the crushing chi. And honestly, just that small shift visually and energetically can feel so freeing. Like suddenly your brain gets more room to stretch. And your wealth energy? It finally has space to breathe again. I still remember this one woman I worked with, Melissa. Single mom, hustling 2 jobs, trying to build an Etsy store late at night after putting her kid to sleep. She was determined, so full of ideas, but something always felt off. She told me, "Every time I sit down to work, I feel this weird pressure in my chest, like I already failed before I begin." So I visited her space. And oh my gosh, her desk was tucked into this cozy little corner under a huge wooden shelf. It was packed with boxes, tools, even old college books. The shelf stretched just inches above her head. And when she looked up, she nervously laughed and said, "I don't even notice it anymore." But her energy noticed, every single day. We cleared it out that afternoon, shifted the shelf to a side wall, hung a soft white scroll, instead something light, peaceful, open. 3 weeks later, she messaged me. I sold out my first batch. Then she added, "I know it sounds silly, but ever since I moved that shelf, I just feel clearer, like I'm not under anything anymore." And honestly, that's the whole point. Sometimes the lightest thing you can do is let go of the weight you forgot was even there. When your mind clears, money moves again. Not all pressure is loud. Some of it just sits above you, quietly holding your flow hostage. But hey, that's just the first red flag. Ready for the next? That mirror by your entryway? It might not be reflecting energy. It might be shattering it. We're taught mirrors are tools for light and space. But in Feng Shui, a mirror isn't neutral. It amplifies whatever it faces. So when it's cracked, foggy, or pointed in the wrong direction, it multiplies confusion. Oh no, this one's sneaky. It looks decorative, it feels fancy, but it's quietly wrecking the energy at your front door. Let's paint the picture. You walk into someone's home, bam, right across from the front door is a big mirror, framed in gold, maybe a little antique. At first glance, it's stylish, but step a bit closer and you notice a small crack at the bottom, or a foggy smudge that never quite goes away, or worsey sharp chip on one edge that's been there forever. And that's the problem. In Feng Shui, the front door is called the mouth of Qi. It's where wealth, health, and fresh energy flow in. Now, imagine putting a damaged mirror right across from it. It's like setting up a rejection slip for abundance. Because here's what a broken mirror does. It sends back confused, fragmented, and even sharp energy. Every time you walk through that door boom, you're met with distorted reflection. Not truth, not clarity, but something broken, staring right back at you. And, oh gosh, so many people live like this and don't even realize. They wonder why they feel drained coming home, why money seems to bounce away, why things feel scattered. It's not just design. It's a Feng Shui red flag. It's stealing your calm every time you walk in. People living with this setup often feel stuck in cycles. Money comes in, then disappears. Opportunities feel almost there but slip away. You walk into your own home and feel off. Like something's always a little bit wrong, but you can't quite explain why. That's not just the mirror. That's your energy splintering again and again. Okay, deep breath. Let's fix this gently but clearly. Step into your entryway like you're a guest in your own home. Look straight ahead. Is there a mirror facing the front door? Now, pause. Really look at it. Is it whole? Is the glass clear and sharp, or does it feel cloudy, chipped, or just off? Because if that mirror is even slightly damaged, you're not reflecting energy anymore. You're scattering wealth. So here's what you do. Step 1. If the mirror is cracked, chipped, or always seems dirty, no matter how often you clean it, take it down. I know, it's beautiful. I know, it opens the space. But honestly, it's not worth the leak in your money flow. Step 2. If you still want a mirror there, replace it with something clean and complete. Ideally with rounded edges or a wooden frame in a soft, grounding tone. Nothing sharp, nothing too metallic, nothing that slices light like a blade. Step 3. And most importantly, change what it reflects. Instead of the front door, which can push energy right back out, angle it slightly. Let it reflect something nourishing. A peaceful plant, a small water feature, or even a cozy light. That way, the mirror becomes a receiver, not a repeller. It welcomes chi, especially money chi, and softly expands the feeling of security, flow, and ease. And wow, when that happens, you'll feel it instantly, like the front of your home just exhaled, and your wealth energy finally walked in and stayed a while. So this woman, her name was Carla, messaged me late one evening. She sounded exhausted, not just tired, soul tired. She wrote, "I don't know what's happening. I get new clients, then they ghost. I save money, then the car breaks. Every time I think I'm ahead, something slips." I asked to see her space. She sent me a video walkthrough of her entryway. And, oh wow, there it was. Right across from the front door. A tall mirror with a fine diagonal crack running like a scar from top to bottom. She said she barely noticed it anymore. She had hung it up years ago because it made the entry look bigger. But what it was doing was splitting her incoming energy. Each time someone entered or an opportunity tried to come in, this mirror quietly said, "Not whole, not safe, not now." I gently suggested she take it down. She hesitated, of course. "Really, it's just a crack." But 2 days later she messaged again. She'd replaced the mirror with a soft, circular print of golden koi swimming upstream. She said, "I know this sounds silly, but I made more sales this weekend than I have all month." Then she added, "My house feels softer, like it's finally letting things in." And honestly, that cracked mirror was never just a mirror. It was a reflection of everything she didn't know she was blocking. After removing the distortion, her finances stabilized. Not all at once, but calmly. She felt less scattered, more clear, more rooted. Because when you stop splitting the energy, it starts returning to you. That's only red flag number 2. Let's see what else might be stealing your chi. Sometimes it's not the door. It's what's guarding it. We all love plants, right? They feel grounding, healing, so alive. But in Feng Shui, the energy of a plant isn't just about being green. It's about what kind of life it carries. And, oh dear, some plants? They don't invite wealth. They repel it. Oh gosh, you wouldn't believe how common this one is. So many people, without even thinking twice, put a pot of cactus or some dry, stiff shrub right at the front door. Why? Because it looks cool. Because it's low maintenance. Or the classic, it just fills the space. But wow, In Feng Shui, that's like placing a do not enter sign where prosperity is supposed to walk in. See, the front door isn't just a doorway, it's your wealth portal. It's where chi, living, flowing energy enters to nourish everything inside. And when the very first thing it meets is a spiky cactus, or worse, a half-dead, forgotten plant with dry, drooping leaves, well, that chi gets hesitant. It recoils. A cactus, no matter how trendy, gives off defensive energy. It says, "Stay back." And a dying plant? Oh man, it's like saying, "This house doesn't nurture life." Even if everything else inside your home is beautifully arranged, this tiny, thorny detail quietly blocks the entire energetic invitation. And it's not just symbolic. I've seen people struggle with momentum in life, money stuck, jobs not landing, ideas not blooming, all while a pair of dry succulents sits silently by the door, soaking in good energy and giving nothing back. It might seem like just a plant, but in Feng Shui, that's a red flag with thorns. People with this setup often describe their life as feeling stuck. Like no matter what they do, things won't grow. Jobs fall through. Unexpected bills pop up. New plans never quite take off. There's this low-key tension. And the house? It feels heavier near the front. Like the flow of luck just turned around. All right, deep breath. Let's clean this up with love. Start by gently stepping outside your front door. Turn around. Look back at your entrance like you're arriving home for the very first time. What do you see? Are your plants dry, spiky, maybe even kinda sad looking? If yes, please don't ignore it, because that tiny pot, sitting silently on the welcome mat, might be quietly pushing away the very flow you're working so hard to invite in. Step 1. Remove anything that looks angry, sharp, or lifeless. Yes, even that cool cactus you've had for 5 years. Even that lucky succulent that's now mostly brown. Let it go gently, gratefully. Thank it, then release it. Step 2. Replace it with a living, thriving, soft plant. Go for something round-leafed, lush, and upward growing. Jade plant, pothos, peace lily. Pick a plant that feels gentilone that moves slightly with the breeze. That little motion, it signals life, movement, welcoming chi. Step 3. Place it in a beautiful pot ceramic, ideally. Nothing cracked, chipped, or dirty. Clean the area around it. Sweep the entry. Even light a candle nearby for a few moments, just to shift the energy. Because when your entry says soft and safe, money, luck, and ease know where to land. And gosh, when the front door feels inviting, you start to feel like you belong in your own success. I once worked with a couple who had 2 giant cacti flanking their front door. They thought it looked balanced desert chic, but they also told me they'd been struggling with money for years. Always on edge. Clients backing out last minute. Constant tension. We removed the cacti. They weren't even alive anymore, just big, thorny sculptures of dryness. In their place, they planted 2 golden pothos in hanging baskets. And honestly, within a month, they both said they felt lighter. The home didn't just look softer, it felt like it could breathe. Soon after, their business finally closed a big deal that had been pending forever. And their weekends? Quieter, more joyful. Because when you soften the welcome, abundance feels safe enough to walk in. Sharp leaves cut luck. Soft roots grow wealth. Up next, a Feng Shui red flag hiding in plain sight inside your favorite rug. Sometimes, you don't lose money. You wipe it off your feet before you even walk in. We think, oh, it's just a mat, a little welcome rug. But in Feng Shui, even the doormat carries intention. And the wrong one? It doesn't just collect dirt, it filters out fortune. Okay, deep sigh. One of the most overlooked red flags is using a dark, dull, or faded mat at the front door. Like those charcoal gray ones with rubber edges. Or that old, worn-out welcome rug that's been there since who knows when. Or even worsey doormat with negative words or sarcastic quotes. Go away, really? Why does this matter? Because the doormat is the first energetic surface your body and your chi touch before entering the home. If it's dusty, unwelcoming, or energetically dead, you're literally stepping over that vibe, dragging it inside. It subtly says, nothing new here. Stay out. Keep the good stuff away. And wow, the house listens. So does your money flow. People with this setup often describe their life as low vibe. Money trickles instead of flowing. There's a stuck feeling, especially near the front of the house. Like something just isn't opening up. Even when they clean the inside, they say the entry still feels flat, uninviting, forgotten. And it always shows up in how money comes in slow and slips away fast. All right, time to shift the energy, right from the ground up. Let's begin where it all starts. Oh, at the threshold. The space right under your feet when you come home. Step one, honestly? Just look down. Is your current mat giving welcome or worn out? If it's dull, dusty, cracked, or just blah, then yes, it's time to let it go. First, roll it up slowly, almost like you're thanking it for its service. Say a quiet goodbye. It's done its job, and now it's taking more than it's giving. Out it goes. Next, choose a mat that actually speaks to the kind of energy you want to walk into. Pick colors that feel warm, earthy, and alive. Terracotta, deep forest green, soft gold. Avoid cold grays, dull blacks, or anything too harsh looking. Bonus tip? If possible, find a mat made from natural fibers woven jute, bamboo, or hand-dyed cotton. Something that feels like it breathes. And then, give it a little ritual. Before placing it down, you can sprinkle a tiny bit of sea salt underneath. Light a candle beside the door. Whisper a word into the mat. Abundance, peace, welcome. Simple, right? But oh, it works. Because now, each time you come home, you're stepping onto intention. You're inviting energy in, not scrubbing it away. And your wealth key? It notices. It says, ah, I'm welcome here. And slowly, gently, it flows in. There's this client, her name's Linda. She had a doormat that said, beware of dog, but she didn't own one. She thought it was funny, until we started talking about how her business had been scaring clients off literally. They'd book a session, then cancel the night before. New leads? Crickets. She changed it. Got a beautiful hand-woven mat with soft gold threading. No words, just warmth. And she texted me a week later. Someone dropped off a check, literally walked up and handed it to me. Now, her clients show up. Her mornings feel brighter. And honestly, she says her house finally feels like a yes. Don't block the chi at the threshold, it's the first whisper of wealth. And up next, a Feng Shui red flag hiding in plain sight right at your feet, under your favorite furniture. It's not the shelf itself, it's where you place it that decides whether energy flows in or stops cold. Most people install a shelf thinking, oh nice, extra space. But in Feng Shui, shelves, especially floating wooden ones, can quietly become energy barriers if placed in the wrong spot. So here's the quiet mistake I see all the time. People mount a long wooden shelf directly above the front door on the inside, or sometimes right facing the door on the opposite wall. It looks clean, minimal, functional, but energetically? Yikes. That shelf acts like a psychic beam cutting right through your wealth path. It presses down. Symbolically, it says, you're carrying a load before you even walk in. Worse still if it's cluttered with heavy items, books, plants, decorative boxes, then the pressure builds even more. Instead of lightness at entry, there's this quiet compression. It's subtle, yes, but over time, it builds a story. We work hard. We carry weight. Ease? Not here. That's the narrative your chi walks into every day. People with this setup often feel this strange tightness around home finances. Bills feel heavier. Unexpected expenses pop up. Money comes in, but doesn't stay long. There's also a feeling of mental clutter, like you're always about to do something, but never feel fully done. Even sleep gets shallow, especially if that shelf is near a bedroom entrance. And energetically, it creates an invisible lid over opportunities. A ceiling on abundance. Ooh, okay. Let's fix this. Gently, but fully. If you have a shelf above or directly across from your front door, especially one made of thick wood or metal, here's what to do, step by step. Step 1. Pause and really look at it. What's sitting up there? Are those things meaningful or just heavy? Because even if you don't notice the shelf anymore, your chi does. Every single day. Step 2. Clear it out completely. Take everything off the shelf, one by one. Notice how it feels as you lift each item. Oh, wow. That box feels oddly heavy, doesn't it? That stack of books you haven't touched in 6 years? Let it go. Naught. Step 3. Reset the air. Once the shelf is clear, wipe it down. Yes, physically, but energetically too. You can. Ring a bell underneath it. Burn a little Palo Santo or sage. Or softly say, this space holds no pressure, only ease. It sounds small, but trust might works. Step 4. Re-choose the space. If you need that shelf for storage, only place light objects. A small plant, a round mirror, or a bowl with 3 Feng Shui coins. But honestly, if you can take the whole shelf down, do it. Give that wall above your door a break. Let it breathe again. I had one client say, I didn't realize how compressed my entrance felt until it was gone. Now I walk in and feel taller somehow. Because when your entry feels lighter, your entire money energy opens. It flows faster, it lingers longer, and it doesn't feel like it has to fight its way in anymore. A woman messaged me last spring. Her name was Denise. She'd been feeling constantly tired, no matter how much she slept. Her business had stalled. We talked. Turns out, there was this long wooden plank shelf above her entryway, stacked with books from her college years, books she never touched. I asked her, gently, why are those the first things you greet when you come home? She blinked and said, oh wow, I guess I never thought about it. She took them down that weekend, replaced the shelf with a small round mirror. Within 10 days, she landed 2 new clients without trying. Now, she walks in and sighs with relief. Her entry feels open. And her energy? She says it's the first time in years that money feels like it's allowed to stay. The smallest shelf can hold the heaviest energy. But sometimes, it's not what's above you, it's what's hiding beneath your bed. Out of sight? Out of mind? Not in Feng Shui, because even the stuff you hide still whispers to your energy. We think, it's just storage. But Feng Shui sees it as a silent trap, especially when it's under the very place where your energy is supposed to recharge every night. You know what's hiding under your bed? Old photo albums you never open, shoe boxes of receipts, off-season clothes, tangled cords, broken gadgets. It seems practical, sure, but energetically, it's like trying to sleep above a buried storm. Because in Feng Shui, your bed is your wealth rest station. It's where your body heals and your mind resets to allow abundance in. When there's chaos underneath, especially old things you've emotionally outgrown, it creates a blockage. Not just physical, but energetic. Like your chi can't fully lie down. And that leads to restless sleep, scattered focus, and yes, money leaks. People often tell me, I sleep 8 hours but wake up tired. I can't remember my dreams anymore. Or, I feel like I'm always catching up financially. And many of them have stuff forgotten, dusty stuff crammed right beneath the mattress. Their subconscious is lying on top of emotional weight. No wonder abundance has trouble arriving. Okay, deep breath. Let's free up your wealth dream space. First, pull everything out from under your bed. Yes, all of it. Even that box you haven't opened in 5 years. Next, clean the floor. Vacuum, mop, spray lavender or Palo Santo mist. Let the space feel clear and light. If you absolutely need to store something there, keep it in soft, breathable containers. No sharp corners. Use cloth bins or under-bed drawers with calming items. Extra linens, gratitude journals, maybe your vision board. Bonus move. Place a red string or Feng Shui coin under the center of the bed, right beneath your belly when you sleep. It anchors your wealth energy and keeps flow moving even in dreams. My aunt had chronic insomnia for years. She also had 5 huge storage tubs under her bed, filled with clothes from her ex. She didn't think it mattered. She never looked at them, but I asked her to take one weekend to clear it all. She cried while doing it. And that night, she slept 9 hours straight for the first time in months. And weirdly, a refund she forgot about landed in her account 2 days later. Now her bed feels like, well, a bed, not a vault. She wakes up lighter, brighter. And her finances? She says, it finally feels like I'm moving forward, not just circling. Your wealth begins with how you rest. So if your space could use a little money magic, here's how to start right now. Ooh, okay. Let's take a breath and gently reset your wealth chi right from where you are. These aren't just chores. They're little invocations. Simple, powerful actions to shift the way your home speaks to money. 1. Clear the first glance point at your door. Walk to your main entrance. Stand there for just 10 seconds. What's the very first thing you see? Oh, wow. Is it a pile of shoes? A cluttered shelf? A shadowed corner? That's the mouth of chi. If the first visual is messy, sharp, or heavy, That's the message you're unconsciously sending to every opportunity trying to enter. So, go ahead. Declutter, light a candle, place a fresh plant. Make it feel alive again. And softly say, "You're welcome here, abundance." 2. Detox any mirror facing the door. Mirrors can bounce energy. And if yours is facing the front, it could be reflecting wealth right back out. But don't panic. Instead, clean it with intention. Mix water, a pinch of sea salt, and a few drops of lemon or lavender oil. Wipe the mirror clockwise while whispering, "I reflect peace. I invite prosperity." Then add a small charm beside it, maybe 3 coins, or a soft cloth with gold thread. Let it feel like a portal, not a block. 3. Gentle sweep under your bed, especially if you haven't touched it in months. This step is pure magic. Take 15 minutes. Pull things out. Dust. Breathe. Reclaim that space. If you must keep things there, store them beautifully. Cloth bins, folded linens, a gratitude notebook. Place a gold coin or cinnamon stick under the center of the mattress. Yes, seriously. It's like whispering to the universe each night. I sleep in trust. I wake in flow. Because honestly, even one clear pocket of space can echo abundance through your whole life. Most people chase wealth by working harder, pushing more, running faster. But sometimes, it's not about adding. It's about removing what quietly blocks the flow. So tonight, before you light another candle or write another affirmation, ask your home a soft question. What part of me is still holding on to something that money is trying to move through? Let it answer. Let it whisper. And if you're feeling called, drop a in the comments and tell me, which Feng Shui red flag just unlocked your clarity? Let's shift the energy together.